In the first video, we showed you the basic tools of the room builder and how to pull out seats, resize them, rotate them. If you haven't watched that video yet, you might want to start there. That'll give you the basic introduction you need. In this video, we're going to do a few more things that are a little more advanced than the first video. We'll start out by making a couch, just your ordinary couch that you'd find at a furniture store that you might have in your living room or family room. To start with, we have the tabs on the left. This first tab that's named chairs has all different kinds of chairs. But if you're going to make a couch, obviously you're not going to want arms on each side of each seat. So you'll use the second tab, which is called sectionals and sofas. So let's make a couch that has three seats in it, basically. So let's pull out a seat here, a seat here, and a seat here. And then you have arms that you can add to it. So here's a left seat arm. So let's pull this out. And a right seat arm. Okay. You can see that we have your basic couch. However, it's not quite lined up. So let me show you a couple tools that can help with that. Using the mouse, it's fairly easy to drag things into place, but it's somewhat difficult to get them exactly where you want them. So if you have an object that you want to move very precisely, you can click on that object, and you can see, for example, there's a little gap between the seats, and this right armrest is a little too far forward. There's also a slight gap here between the left armrest and the seat. So let's go ahead and fix those. So let's take this left armrest, and we want to move it just about a pixel to the right. So if you look in the upper right part of the control panel here, you'll see that there's the directional buttons. Those move the selected object 1 pixel at a time. So let's move that armrest in 1. So I'm going to click it, and that looks pretty good, but let's move it in 1 more. So I'll highlight it again, click. That looks pretty good. I think I'm going to leave it right there. Now you can see that there's a gap between a couple of these seats. So let's see if we can remove the gap. So I'm going to click on this center seat, and we'll move it 1 pixel to the left. Let's look at that. That looks pretty good. So let's move this right-hand seat over. Okay, there's 2 clicks right there. That looks pretty good. I think I'd like to also move it 1 pixel toward the front of the room. Let's see if that looks pretty good. I think that looks okay. Now let's go ahead and reposition this right armrest. So we'll move it down a couple. It's like right there, and we need to move it over just a little bit. Okay, so now you have your basic couch. Now there's a feature built in where if you have more than one object, more than one kind of seat in your room, instead of have to recreate them, you can actually clone them. And as a group like this, the way that you clone them is you put the mouse in the upper left corner, lower left corner, one corner, hold the mouse down and drag across each of the objects that make up your furniture piece. And you can see that it highlights them as they are enclosed or touched by the outline of this rectangle. So once you've highlighted the group, you can release the mouse button, and it is now a group. You can see that we can easily move it around the screen. So that grouping feature can come in handy, especially if you have a home theater that has many rows of seats that are the same. Like say you had a home theater that had 3 rows. You wouldn't want to have to rebuild each one of them individually. So you could just build 1 row and then clone the group. And the way we're going to clone a group is you highlight it, like we have this couch highlighted. You hold down the control key on your keyboard, put the mouse on the object, and while you're holding the control key down, drag away from it, and you'll see it created a clone. And you can do that multiple times. So you simply hold the control key down while you're holding it down, drag away from the highlighted object. Easy as that. So that feature will definitely come in handy when you're doing certain things. Now, there's a few other features that will come in handy as well. These seats and arms come pre-built at a specific size, but they may not be exactly the same size as your seats or sofas or what have you. So you can see I just clicked on this one seat right here, and if we go over to the middle section of the control panel, you can see that that seat section is 24 inches wide and 31 inches in length. If I highlight the whole group, you can see that the couch itself is 84 inches wide and 31 inches in length. So let's say that you had a couch that you built that was actually 91 inches wide. So you could build the couch, highlight it, and then begin to stretch it. So you see here that I've got the cursor on the horizontal stretch, and keep an eye as I click on that horizontal stretch, you'll see the size change here for the width. So let's click it up to 91 inches wide. Whoops, I went a little too far. There. So now it's 91 inches wide. So that's the easy way to get the furniture in the room builder the same size as your furniture at your house. So you can either size each section of a sectional or couch and then put the sections together, or you can just build it and stretch it. It is possible, if you have an angled piece of furniture like this, to stretch it when it's angled. But sometimes things get out of proportion. I'm going to go ahead and stretch it here. You can see that it's starting to lose its original shape. So what we recommend is build your couch or sectional in a horizontal size, then resize it as needed, and then angle it as it would be in your room. And let's just delete some of this stuff. So that's how we build a couch. Building a theater, a home theater sectional is going to be about the same. You can pull out the seats. You can add the arms to it. We also have some angled arms, so you can use the fine angle or the coarse angle to get more of a rotation. Let's move that back just a little bit. It's angled a little too far. Okay, and let's use the fine movement to move it a little bit to the left. Okay, we'll pull out another seat. We'll use the rough coarse angle adjustment, and so you can see it's that easy to build couches or sectionals, and there's really not much more to it than that. In the next video, we'll show how to do a few more advanced features to help build your home theater.